Hello, everybody. I hope you are doing well on this wonderful Saturday. I know a lot of people are busy with their lives, but it's important that I talk about this topic today because in February it is American Heart Month. February is American Heart Month. It's a month to raise awareness about heart disease and prevention. And the reason why it's so important to talk about this topic, guys, is because it is the number one cause of death in America. Heart disease is the number one cause, it's the leading cause. And guess what? Based upon the CDC, 695,547 people have died, okay, at least this in a year because of heart disease, in a year because of heart. And the second leading cause of death is cancer. So 605,213 have died of cancer. It's clearly an issue in America. And that's why I feel like it's important that we talk about this topic and we provide educational tools that we can implement into our lives so that we can hopefully prevent heart disease and cancer down the line. If I told you that if you made certain decisions in your life, that those decisions can either dictate your health or it can either improve your health or destroy your health. If I told you that you actually have the tools to prevent heart disease in your life, would you actually pick up those tools and use them? Or would you put them in the back of the closet and let them sit there by the wayside? I'm pretty sure if you have those tools in your hands, you would use them for your benefit. So I thought I'd provide educational tools. In this training, I'm only going to discuss 3 core principles. However, there's actually 6 core principles that I discuss in my ebook that I have authored. So if you want to know more details, let me know and I will get that ebook to you. Those of you who are following me on Instagram already know how to have access to that. So let's get started. I just need to put some house rules into place. And some of those house rules entail you have to participate. So if I ask questions, if I say, put a 1 in the chat if, and I ask a question and it applies to you, put the 1 in the chat or the 2 or whatever. Just please participate because it helps the live and the presentation go smoothly. And it also enables me to know that you guys are actually listening to the information. Okay, so let's get started. So what is this all about? Now, the title says empowering women to live healthy and whole, but actually this topic applies to anyone, male or female, because as I mentioned, the number one cause of death in America is heart disease for all individuals, male and female. So this information can help you, anyone you know who lives in America, it applies. So let's get started. The keys to living heart smart, actually also, and to preventing cancer as well, most forms of cancer, I would say. Starting right now, let's talk about some alarming statistics. Now, these alarming statistics do particularly relate to the Black community because in the Black community, we don't have a lot of education as it relates to health. A lot of individuals, unfortunately, don't realize that some of the decisions that we're making in our life can lead to this. So these statistics really in particular relate to the Black community. But as I mentioned, this information is prevalent to any community. Okay, so the number one cause, can I at least, wherever you are, put a 1 in the chat if you heard number 1. Okay, so the number one cause of death for women, especially Black women, y'all, is heart disease. The number one cause of death for women is cancer. The number two cause of death for women is cancer, according to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. African Americans' heart failure rate is 20 times higher than that of the Caucasian community before the age 50. Now, again, all ethnicities are dying rapidly from heart disease. So it doesn't really matter the ethnicity at this point. It really just showing that there is a concern specifically in the Black community. 3/4 of African Americans who develop heart failure have high blood pressure by 40. And high blood pressure has various factors. One of those factors does relate to the high stressors in your life, which we're going to be talking about. So basically, you're probably asking, why should I listen to you? You know, what's your what makes you so qualified to talk about this? Well, before I get in that, these alarming statistics that I did talk about right now explain the vital reason why I have made it my mission to educate and empower women and anybody to implement healthy lifestyle practices into our daily lives. I have particularly focused my attention on the Black community because I'm seeing a lot of my Black friends and sisters just dying rapidly because of heart disease and cancers. So I really have issued a campaign directing my attention in the Black community. However, as I mentioned, all of the topics that we're talking about right now relates to any and everyone in America because it's the number one cause for all individuals in America. Now, credibility wise, you're asking, why should you listen to me? Well, women's health has become a passion of mine when I began to witness the premature death and health complications of many women that I loved and I cherished in my life. For example, many women who served as mentors to me as youth died prematurely over the years due to strokes, heart attacks, and cancers. Most under 55 years old. I mean, I was just seeing them die like flies, guys. It was heartbreaking. People that I really loved. I mean, by the time they reached mid to late 50s or very early 60s, they were dropping dead. And I was finding out that a lot of them were passing away because of heart attacks, strokes, and I had a friend and a couple people that I know died of cancer. So one of my friends passed away from colon cancer, and she was just 25 years old. Yes, she was just 25 years old, guys. And she found out that she had stage 4 cancer at age 25 when she had just delivered her first baby girl. So this beautiful Black woman was gone too soon. She died. And she will never be able to see her daughter grow up or get married. Her little baby is now being raised by a single father, the husband, who is now a widow. So if I told you you could actually have the keys to prevent a lot of these health issues, would you take those tools and would you use them? My mother and sister, she had high blood pressure, which is a dire health concern that can lead to heart disease if not addressed. And I'm pretty sure if you could think back, you probably know somebody, at least one person that has high blood pressure. We'll talk about that a little later. My aunt, she had breast cancer twice, and so many more people that I know, sisters, mentors, role models, cherished friends, have prematurely perished due to either heart disease or cancer. And these continual premature deaths and health complications that I've witnessed over the years, it's instilled within me a passion to learn ways to resolve this ongoing epidemic that has hastily taken the lives of many women across our nation, especially Black women. But I would say all women, as sad as it is. So for the past 4 years, dating back to 2018, I have researched key factors that we as a community can implement into our daily lives in order to live healthy and whole by preventing heart disease and most forms of cancer in our later years. Since then, I have taught various seminars regarding health topics such as dangers of sugar, dairy, processed foods, and so much more. I also have authored my own free ebook. I have a women's empowerment virtual group that I also have, trying to educate women about the 6 vital factors that they should be implementing into their lives in order to prevent heart disease and cancer. That to me defines living purposefully, because you educate yourself with the tools you need and you apply those to your life in order to prevent heart disease and most forms of cancer. Today, I will discuss 3 core principles that you can implement into your daily lives in order to live healthy and whole. Now, this is the part of the discussion where I need your participation, y'all. I need you guys to please participate. So, how many of you can relate to me who have lost a loved one, a friend, or coworker who has died from heart complications or cancer? Let me know. Put a one in the chat if, oh, well, you guys are already putting ones in the chat. So put a 2 in the chat if you know at least one person, a friend, coworker, relative, that has died from heart complications or cancer. Hi, Adela. Welcome, sweetie. Hi, good. Google was my idea. Okay, so Google was my idea said her mom died at 51 from heart disease. Oh, I'm so sorry, sweetie. So sorry. It is so, it's a crisis. We need to try to discuss this. So put a 1 or 2 in the, or put a 2 in the chat. I need you guys to participate. Okay, good. We got Betty. She's participating. Google was my idea. Thank you, love. How many of you know of someone who has high blood pressure? Put a 3 in the chat if you know someone who has high blood pressure. Okay, Adela's participating. She said, family, grandma. Oh no, I'm so sorry. Oh, goodness, so sad. Best friend, only 29, leukemia. We do need to talk about this. Okay, we got Doris. She's participating. Thank you, Tiffany. Tiffany put a 3 in the chat. So yes, high blood pressure, it's a concern. How many can agree that people we know are dying too prematurely due to health complications such as heart disease or cancer? Put a 4 in the chat if you think people are dying just too prematurely. Too prematurely. 4 in the chat. 4 in the chat. Need somebody participate. Come on, y'all. Oh no, Google was my idea. I have high blood pressure. Okay, yes. Well, I'm glad you are in this seminar, sweetie. Definitely stay until the end. This will really help you, sweetie. Some tools to give you. Okay, Doris, and also my ebook too. I need to get a hold of you to get my ebook. If you can, Doris was my idea. If you can message me on my Instagram, it's Queen Esquire Gal, Gal. And I will get you access to my free ebook because definitely if you apply those principles, it will help you along the way. Okay, we've got a lot of 4s in the chat. Thank you for participating, you guys. So many of you guys can already see and understand why this topic is very vital to talk about, okay? Based upon my research, I believe there are at least 3 main topics that are vital to discuss in order to achieve healthy and quality living. Again, there's 6 in total, but I narrowed it down to 3 for this training because we'll be here all day, y'all. And I know you guys have other things to do, better things to do, to be on live for a whole entire day. So we just narrowed it down to 3 key topics. And in order to remember this topic, I essentially have an acronym for you. So you have this acronym you can have memorized, and it's going to be really easy for you to apply to your life due to the acronym. And the acronym is WIN. Winning over the crisis in our country, which is heart disease and most forms of cancer, taking people out. A lot of us are donating and we're raising funds for cancer research, heart disease research. Well, we have the answers, guys. The answers are in the research. Daily practices. The first W, winning mindset. Mental health maintenance. It is imperative, especially in the Black community. A lot of women, especially the Black community, are dealing with a lot of stress, a lot of stressors on the job, in the community, maybe with your family, with your kids, societal stressors, inequalities, oppression, you name it. Stress can wreak havoc on your heart and on your health. It also raises your blood pressure. Emotions can cause health issues. That's why the first acronym is winning mindset, because we have to work on getting those stressors under control. Try to discuss some ways to do that and to apply those to our daily lives. Definitely, I'm qualified to talk about this because as a full-time practicing attorney, and any attorney will tell you, we deal with a lot of high levels of stress on a daily basis. It is very tough job. So I can definitely identify with you. And some of these practices are what I implement into my life. Let's go on to the next one. The next one is intentional exercise, daily, regular exercise. Very imperative. And I'm going to also talk to you about how much exercise should you be getting in a week, because we don't really discuss that. What are the vital core types of exercise you should be getting in? It really helps your health. It definitely helps your heart, getting it going, get it pumping. Some people think, oh, well, I'm physically fit or I'm young. Well, none of that matters. Everything that you do in your youth can affect you in your later years as well. It catches up with you. So it's better to start early, because you want a quality life down the line. When you start getting into your 50s, your 60s, your 70s, you want to live that quality, healthy life. So in order to do that, you need to be consistent in winning mindset, intentional exercise, and finally, nutritional diet. This is going to be one of the very dense, heavy topics. Definitely want you to stay to hear that, because I'm going to talk about some of the research behind some of the foods we're eating, guys, and some of the core health issues that are linked to those types of foods. You definitely want to know that, because food truly can either be a healing factor to your body, or it could be a contributing factor to deteriorating your heart health and cause most forms of cancer. And like Betty has said, stress can kill. She is so right. Many people don't think that is the case, but it is true. So let's get into the meat of the seminar. Now, before we do that, let's talk about some more statistics in the main point number one. The main point number one that we are discussing right now is winning mindset, mental health maintenance. As Betty has discussed, stress can be a ultimate killer, guys. Right. And like Google said, I know exercise is important, but getting motivated to do it is another thing. And I will talk about how to get you motivated, because I had an issue with that too. Before I really started doing my research, I had an issue with exercising, and I'll tell you what I did when I get to that main point number two. We'll talk about how to ways to motivate you. But starting right now to main point number one, winning mindset, mental health maintenance. It's important to talk about one death every 11 minutes is due to people taking their lives in America, according to CDC. One death every 11 minutes. Can you believe that? That's how much stress there is in America. Stress in America is so, it's very prevalent. And the reason why is because a lot of us are taught to work. Most of the time, we don't have time to sit down and have a breather. We're always on the go, left and right, and we never take time to just relax and just have some self-care moments. And what it's causing a lot of people to self-conclude, take their life out. And if you have been subscribed to my channel, you are aware that we've talked, especially last year, about an increasing number of people taking their life out. And just recently, yesterday, another individual has taken his life. And I'm going to talk about that on a separate live to discuss those factors. But it's very, very sad, guys. It's increasing by the day. And it's because of the societal pressures that is placed upon us, and the expenses related to just the cost of living. 12.2 million adults in America seriously thought about taking their lives. Isn't that sad? 12.2 million adults in America. That's how depressing people are feeling right now. Depressed people are feeling. 3.2 million made plans to end their life. So sad. 3.2 million. And 1.2 million adults attempted to take their life. This is sad, guys. Look at these numbers, guys. Mental health is clearly a concern in our country. It's one of the reasons why people are getting high blood pressure. A lot of them are dropping dead, guys, because of heart attacks and strokes, because they're under high levels of stress. And in particular, if we talk about Black women have an extra weight of societal stressors and anxiety-inducing experiences associated with environmental factors, such as discrimination at employment, at their employments, advancements in society, societal flaws of the definition of beauty, and Black women not feeling as though we measure up to those beauty standards. And we talked about that in another live, if you guys were on that live. And the continual injustices that plague the Black community in the legal system, healthcare industry, entertainment industry, and so much more. That's why we're finding an alarming number of men in the Black community who have high blood pressure. It's almost very common. It's very sad. It's because of all the stressors coming at them from left, right, all different angles. But this same alarming number applies to individuals across the U.S. in all different ethnic groups. Everybody's dealing with other different types of distressors in their lives as well. But that is why it's even more critical that women take a proactive approach to managing their mental health daily, especially Black women. I struggle with stress and anxiety at times, given my very busy schedule as an attorney, and I have a lot going on. Not only I'm an attorney, but I'm a reigning national queen as Miss Black USA 2022. And so I have a lot of responsibility regarding that, as well as my roles as an attorney, as well as my advocacy for women's health. So I will share with you some things that I do to manage my mental health, and hopefully these tips can also help you in your daily life. Right, Betty Yellock said that a lot of men are dying in their 50s. She is so right. Look what happened to Kevin Samuels. He is a prime example. Kevin Samuels was so young. I don't even think he was in his 50s. There was a discrepancy as it related to his age. Let me see if I can look up his age, but he was pretty young, guys. Although many people had different variations of what they thought he was actually only 53 years old when he died. And it was because of a heart attack. So it's pretty much people across the board. But it's all people, Black men, women, all, white women, Hispanic, all men and women are literally dying at high rates. But in particular, in the Black community, there is a lack of knowledge and education about how we can implement certain key tips into our life to prevent that. Now, let's look at some ways that we can manage our mental health maintenance. The first one is seek therapy. Seek therapy. Don't feel like you're not you're feeling like you're weak or you're inadequate because you sought therapy. And this is very prevalent. Thank you, Betty. Thank you, my love. But it's very prevalent, guys, in the Black community. I don't know about in other communities, but we're taught to be the strong person. We're taught to be the one to carry the weight in the family, and not to show any form of weakness. And because of that, a lot of times therapy is shunned in the Black community. Let me know in the chat if you're in a different community, if it applies to you guys also. I can only speak for my community because that is, what I'm more aware of. But again, this applies to all communities. Let me know. Oh, I'm grateful you guys are putting some great information in the chat. We're gonna definitely talk about those. So seek therapy. Find a therapist who is empathetic to discuss the issues you're experiencing and an effective listener. It's okay to go to therapy. The therapist should listen to understand your pains, traumas, and anxieties, and not merely listen to respond, or does not make an effort to understand the key issues, concerns that need to be addressed. So basically, you need to go grocery shopping for your therapy. You know how you go grocery shopping, you go to the store, you try to put a list of together what you're looking for at the store. Well, that's the same thing when you're looking for a therapy. You need to literally go and shop around for the appropriate therapist for you. The person that is empathetic, that listens to your concerns, that shows empathy and understanding, and can also provide you with a decent form of treatment. She's not just trying to give you a quick fix, but she's actually trying to really help you. So you might have to shop around before you find that perfect match for you. So find someone who actually cares about the issues you're dealing with. This may take some time. However, in order to effectively benefit from therapy, you need to find a therapist who works well with you. Let me know with a 5 in the chat if any of you guys have therapists that you guys go to. Let me know, because I know I have one, y'all. It helps me out. Trissy says, I used to stress about everything, but when I gave my life to God, preach, Trissy, I realized the things that society says that we need, like materialism, really doesn't matter. I realized that less is more. Amen. Trissy is so right. That is one of the ways that I also deal with stress. We'll talk about that a little later down the line, but I deal with stress through my relationship with God and applying that. Yes, Google was my idea, says Chadwick Boseman died of colon cancer. A lot of people didn't even know he was battling cancer. Exactly. Oh my gosh, I'm glad you brought up Chadwick, because colon cancer is very prevalent, especially in the Black community. Like I said, I lost my friend at age 25 because of it. It is prevalent, and a lot of it's linked to our diets, which I really want to encourage you. If anything, you have to be here for point number 3, because I'm really going to give you some key tools you can apply to prevent colon cancer and other forms of cancer. Okay, so seek therapy. Get a therapist. Really will help you with your stress, your mental anguish, or things that you're dealing with. The second tip is regular physical activity. This is something I do. Oh my goodness, I do a lot of exercise. It helps with stress. It is, after working 10 hours as an attorney, doing all these legal drafts and legal research and all the different, I have to use my brain all day long analyzing and arguing different cases. Okay, so one of the ways I relieve my stress is through regular exercise, y'all. Regular exercise or other forms of physical activity such as dance. I love dancing. I do a lot of dancing. Walking in nature. I love doing beautiful walks to see the sceneries, go by the water because I'm fascinated with water, bodies of water. Bike riding, swimming, hiking, rock climbing. These are all great ways for you to manage your mental health. You got to find things that you love that makes you happy. Now, another tip, number 3, is spend time with friends or family. Find someone that you can trust to speak to about your issues that you're going through. Someone you can trust. And you really need to have a spirit of discernment about who you share with, because not everybody should be welcomed into your inner circle. I'm just saying, you got to find someone, and you allow, your intuition to tell you who is the safe person to talk to, because some people are not always trustworthy, but find that person or persons who you feel you can reach out to. Also, another thing that I do is write in a journal about stresses or concerns that you're experiencing. Journaling is amazing. I do it a lot. I also, sometimes I record myself talking. I know it sounds weird, but guys, it is really relieving. Oh my goodness. I'll just sit there and I'll talk about it if I don't feel like writing it in a journal. And it really helps me get out the stressors I'm feeling. And it really does help relieve the stress. Now, and tip number 4 is find activities you love. And this one's very important, guys. You need to take a day of rest. This is vital. You must have a day of rest. Even God did it. God couldn't work for full 7 days straight. He worked for 6 days, and then the 7th day he rested. If God himself, who is almighty, powerful, and all, omnipotent, if he can't work 7 hours, how much more do you think we can? Okay, seriously. It is essential that we find balance each week for our overall health. For at least one day of the week, we should set aside that day to solely rest, relax, and do activities that you love. Okay? Find some things you love. And I'm going to actually go more into detail about that. Let's see if I can go back to that real quick. Okay. So some examples of that is watch a movie or go to a comedy show. I love that. I do that. A lot of these examples I'm telling you are things I actually do. Spa day, get a massage. I love that. Light your favorite candles. Really great stress reliever. Light a Himalayan salt lamp. Get you a Himalayan salt lamp. If you don't have one of those, definitely get you one of those. It's really helpful. What I also use is lavender. I went to a lavender farm and I got this lavender essential oil, and I use that during the day during my busy, tedious practice as an attorney. And I just, inhale some of that lavender oil. It just helps calm my spirit, y'all. So one of the most important components to managing stress is balance. And in America, a lot of us don't have balance. We're constantly on the go. We're constantly working every single day. We don't really have time to just sit and relax. So the most important thing is balance. So you need to have that one day of rest that I was talking about, where you're not out, you're not working, you're not trying to run errands or do anything like that. This day should be a day to rejuvenate and restore your energy to carry on for the next week. A lot of us have very imbalanced schedules that can lead to mental and physical exhaustion. And that's why we're seeing a high rate of people taking their lives, because they're under huge amounts of stress and constant trying to pursue and chase these accolades, which is very valued in America. It is essential that we find balance each week for our overall health. And I really wanted to talk about this, especially for individuals in America, because I know people will be watching this from all over the world. Because I hear of people who come to America, and one of the things they tell me is, man, it's so stressful here. All you guys do is work, work, work. We never have any time to sit and rest. We never have that. And I'm very glad Google was my idea, says, please get your colonoscopies. Yes, that is one of the things I talk about in my ebook. Get your colonoscopies. If you have a family history of colon cancer, they recommend getting screened at 45. Thank you, love. And more young people are being diagnosed. Now, even though they recommend screening at 45, my ebook, I talk about how it's imperative for early screening, meaning you should be getting checked even before that age, especially if you're in the Black community. You should be getting checked way before 45, because as Google was my idea stating, people are getting colon cancer at alarming young ages. As I just mentioned, my friend died at age 25 because of it. So it's clearly something we shouldn't even just use the numbers they give us. Get your colonoscopy early, okay? Just get checked. It doesn't matter what age, just get checked. So for more tips regarding managing mental health, you will have to download my free ebook, because I go into way more detail than this. But because this is a seminar that we're trying to get through and with efficient time, I'm not going to go over all the in-depth details that I outline in my free ebook. But moving on to main point number 2. Main point number 2 is intentional regular exercise. Why do I use the word intentional? Well, it's because you have to actually research and know, well, how much exercise should I be getting and what kinds of exercise? When you have the knowledge of what you should be doing, that's intentional, because you're working with knowledge of what you need to be doing to apply to your life. Oh, look, Betty says she got her colonoscopy about 5 years ago. Good job, girl. You might be due for another one, girl. And then 5 years ago, love. So let's just ask them questions. I need some participation from my lovely viewers. How many of you exercise regularly? Put a 6 in the chat if you regularly exercise. Put a 7 in the chat if you don't exercise at all. If you like, girl, I do not want to exercise, I put a 7. I don't feel like doing it. Girl, bye. So put a 6 in the chat if you do exercise regularly, or put a 7 if you don't exercise regularly. And thank you, Betty. Betty is saying, yes, please share this information out to everyone. This is a topic. Okay, we got 6. Oh my goodness, we got people who exercise. Good job, Tiffany. Yes, kudos to Tiffany. She is on her A game. We've got Adela's on her A game. Okay, Google was my idea, girl. We're going to have to work with you, love. We're going to have to work with you, girl. At least go for a walk. Yes, good job, Doris. The walks. I love those walks. If anything, go for a nice, beautiful walk. It is lovely, okay? It's every 10 years. Oh, yeah, you're right. But like I said, even though it's every 10 years, Betty, you want to be on your game. At least check for symptoms. And again, my ebook goes over some of those symptoms just to check for, because even though they say every 10 years, the statistics are changing, guys. It's the number 2 cause of death. The statistics are changing. The foods we're eating is increasing the chances of getting colon cancer. So if you wait every 10 years, like they tell you, you may not even know if you have it. And now so it's preventative care, So yes, they give you the numbers to follow, but I say you need to follow your own numbers, okay? Because of just how the alarming number has increased over time. You don't want to just lean upon the general numbers. Okay. Let's see. If you do not exercise, what are the reasons why you don't exercise? So Google was my, where's the beautiful, lovely Google? Is she here? Google was my idea. Love, tell some reasons why you don't exercise, sweetie. Okay, I love Betty. She says she walks every day. That's one of the things I do. It's been a little cold lately, so I haven't been able to walk. But let me know some of the reasons in the chat why you do not exercise. Okay, moving on now. Main point number 2, lack of exercise, lack of physical activity can increase your odds of premature death by 20 to 30%. And that is from Dr. Karen Ainzel. She's an MS-RDN. She said that the lack of physical activity can increase your odds of premature death by 20 to 30%. You literally have the keys in your hand. All you need to do is educate yourself and apply the tools you learn. But exercise really can increase your chances of living. If you don't, it will increase your odds of dying prematurely, guys. You have the tools. Regular exercise helps prevent or manage many problematic health conditions such as weight management, heart disease, which is the key topic we're talking about today, many forms of cancer, stroke, metabolic syndrome, high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, arthritis, falls, anxiety, and depression. Look at that. Look at all the different preventative care that regular exercise does for you. It helps you aid in preventing that. Now, you need to combine exercise with other different factors that we're talking about, but it's one of those ways to help aid you in ensuring your heart is healthy. You have control. Isn't that amazing that you have control? Just by exercising, it's a way to aid you in preventing a lot of these different health scares and risk factors, heart disease. And I'll tell you a little story about type 2 diabetes. I have a very close friend of mine, and she was diagnosed recently with type 2 diabetes. She also was a little bit overweight and had a lot of other health problems. And when she applied and started reading the ebook that I authored, and she started applying those health principles, she changed her diet. She exercises multiple times a week. She has given up fast foods. She manages her stress. Guys, she has lost a significant amount of weight. Her health has increased and improved. And she has been able to, get her diabetes under control. And her blood pressure has lowered, and it's a healthy level now. Can you believe it? All just by changing her choices. The body, you can heal your body by the choices you make. Isn't that incredible? It's incredible. I've seen it work. It's worked for me. I had a health scare, and I changed the way I was eating. I changed I started exercising a lot more. I got my stress under control. I started managing, getting my early checkups, and it really improved my health. And I have a great level of blood pressure. My blood pressure is fine, balanced out. I don't have any alarming health concerns. So I'm telling you, these factors work when you apply them. Exercise enhances your thinking, your learning capability, judgments, sleep. It can lower your risk of premature death from many health complications. So you see all that? It increases your thinking. Definitely imperative for myself as a practicing attorney. I don't know about you guys. Your learning capabilities, your judgment, your sleep, and it lowers your risk of premature death. Wow. Look at all those benefits to exercising. I hope y'all will start exercising now that you heard these wonderful statistics. Can you believe that? And some people will say, oh, well, I don't have enough time to exercise because they're busy, or I don't see the need for exercise if they're already at their ideal weight or body. That's what you'll say. But these numbers here tell a different story, guys. These indications tell a different story, that no matter if you have a regular or you have your perfect weight or you don't have enough time, it's important that you make the time. Okay. So how often should you exercise? This is important. According to WHO Health Guidelines for young adults or for adults, period, between the ages of 18 to 36, it's recommended that you have at minimum 150 to 300 minutes of moderate physical exercise per week, or 75 to 150 minutes of vigorous exercise, or a combination of both. So you need to have both types. Now, even though this age grade says 18 to 36, this can apply to any age group, okay? You should be getting 150 to 300 minutes of moderate, or 75 to 150 of vigorous, or you can combine those. In other words, 21 to 43 minutes a day of physical activity. That is not a lot, right? You can organize the time in the way you want. If you want to do maybe an hour for one day and an hour another day, or whatever, how you want to do it, and then maybe 30 minutes on another day, organize it the way you want. But the ultimate goal is you want to at least get 150 to 300 minutes of workouts in a week. Okay. Now, within that amount of exercise, there should include muscle strengthening exercises twice a week. Now, I know you ladies will be like, muscle exercise, I don't want to lift weights. Guys, don't be intimidated by lifting weights. Lifting weights is fun. It's empowering. It actually helps you burn a lot of calories too. I love with lifting weights because, you'll eat your daily food or whatever, and you exercise. And when you lift your weights, it also helps you burn calories at least 72 hours after you have lift weights. Isn't that cool? So you're burning calories constantly after you have lift weights. So that's the wonderful benefit of it. And see, Google was my idea. She says, I have diabetes, high blood pressure, and high cholesterol. I'm on medication, all those conditions. See, but you can actually heal your body. Google was my idea. Get on a health regime, do the research, apply the principles that I have in my ebook, and also the principles that we're talking about in this seminar. And sweetie, you could change that. My friend, like I told you, she had high blood pressure, diabetes. She also had high cholesterol too. She had those same things that you're talking about. Her health has completely turned around for the good because she changed her diet. She started exercising regularly. She started working on her mental health stressors, and it worked for her, and it worked for me, and it worked for a lot of other people, sweetie. So all hope is not gone, girl. You could actually start applying these principles and get your health under control. Get your health back, sweetie. Take it back. That's what the seminar is about. Take your health back. Now, exercise tips. This is something, because I think it was Google was saying that she is not feeling this whole exercise thing. Okay, so here's some exercise tips, because I was the same way as her. I really did not like exercising at first. I had to find exercises that I enjoyed. That's the important thing. You need to find exercises that are fun, okay, that you love to do. So let's talk about that. So the fun things you can do is you can incorporate brisk walks into your daily schedule. And I think Who said they like brisk? Who they like to walk? Somebody said they love to walk. Oh, Betty said she loves to walk every day. Walking is fun. It's a great way to relieve your stress. It's a wonderful way you can go walk around and enjoy beautiful sceneries. For example, for myself, I love walking. Okay. Some of the places I go is very beautiful places like rose gardens. I love to walk near these beautiful parks. I walk near some of the rivers just to see some of the beautiful rivers. I go on beautiful hikes. If you go to different beautiful sceneries, it kind of make it a fun hobby to go explore some of the beautiful sceneries in your community and go walk in those different sceneries each time. So you say, okay, I'm gonna pick a different place this week, and then I'm gonna go to this different place next week. So it'll help you. It's like a fun hobby for you to find some beautiful places to go each time you go for a walk, and you can explore your community as well. So that's the cool part about it too. So that's a cool way. Incorporate brisk walking, brisk walks in neighborhood or park. That's what I love to do. Cleaning. Did you know cleaning your house can be a form of aerobic exercise? Can you believe that? It actually does. In my ebook, I actually outline the details about how you can burn calories exercising, or burn calories cleaning your house, but you actually can burn a significant amount of calories just cleaning your house. That's crazy, huh? And you can also purchase small weights to use at home and work during breaks and lunch. I do this all the time, guys. I have purchased these small weights that I have at home. I take them to work. When I'm on my quick breaks, I will do a couple of just reps, with my weights. So you can definitely do that. Right. Oh, Betty says, I love cleaning my house. Right, Betty, you're getting a lot of exercising because you're doing your walks, you're doing your house cleaning. You probably didn't even realize you were exercising when you were cleaning. So that is great. So let's look at some other tips. Partner with friends to create a walking group or a bicycling group. This is a fun way. So Google was saying, I really can't I don't like exercising. Well, the tip is, Google was my idea, is find things you love. So partner up with your friends. If you have some friends, create an exercise group. I know a lot of people that have exercise groups, or they have a bike club, and you guys can all make it a hobby. All of us, we're going to go out, we're going to go for a walk. It just is a great bonding moment, and you can create an incentive. After we go and exercise, we'll go get smoothies and just enjoy, each other afterwards. It just really creates an incentive if you kind of make it a group effort. I, for example, go exercising with my friends. I have a group of friends, and we go to dance classes together because we love dance, and we go to weightlifting classes because we love lifting weights. So make it fun. Google was my idea. If you make it fun, then it's no longer a task. It doesn't feel like it's an obligation. It feels like, oh, I'm excited. I'm about to go to my dance class. Or, oh, I'm excited. I'm going out with my girls. We're going to go for a walk. Make it fun. If you like bike riding, just find something that you love to do. And I think bike riding is really fun. Swimming is fun. So you lift your weights, y'all. Find exercises or physical activities that you enjoy. Or take exercise classes such as weightlifting, dance, or swimming. These are things that I do. I love taking classes because, guys, I'm going to keep it real. When I'm on the treadmill, that is just boring. I can't sit there on a treadmill for 30, 40 minutes and just walk or run. That is boring. So what I've done is I go to exercise classes, and I found for me, I enjoy those. I've met so many friends because of going to these classes. So it's a way to meet friends. It's empowering because all of you guys have a same goal, and you actually will find that you're networking with people who have goals, and they're successful people, because a lot of people who are in these exercise classes, they're, people that have structure in their life, people that are, very balanced in their life. So you'll learn great tips from people in the classes as well, which I found in my experience. So some of the things I do is I incorporate exercise into my schedule by taking brisk walks. I take fitness classes. I take dance classes. I take kickboxing classes, which I enjoy, especially for you ladies out there. It's great to have self-defense skills. So kickboxing classes is fun because you actually kill two birds with one stone. You are getting your exercise, but you're also learning some self-defense tips as well. And weightlifting. I also do a lot of weightlifting. I love it, love it, love it. Don't be intimidated if you're ladies. You can lift a little bit of light weights. Y'all just get you some 5 pounds and you're good. And I also keep weights at home, like I said, that I use while watching movies or at work. And if I can do it, y'all, you surely can. Because like I said, for many years before I really started researching health, I wasn't exercising. I was like, Google was my idea. I was like, girl, I am not about to exercise. This stuff is too much. I'm too busy. I don't feel like doing it. But once I started doing it and I actually said, okay, if I'm going to have to do this, I need to enjoy it. So that's when I started looking for things that I actually like to do. Okay. And to learn details about how to incorporate these tips into your daily practice and its health benefits, you want to download my free ebook because it goes into way more details than this. This seminar is going to be very brief and to the point. Now, we are moving on to one of the most important acronyms, nutritional diet, because even if you exercise, even if you are managing your stress, your mental health, if you are not eating healthy, guys, your health is still going to fall by the wayside. So nutritional diet is important. I'm going to spend a lot of time on this. This is one of the important factors that I need you to pay attention to. If you didn't pay attention to the first two, please pay attention here. Nutritional tips. Okay. I really have researched this inside and out, y'all. So I feel like I've become somewhat of an expert, y'all. But let me ask y'all some questions before we get into those tips, because I need to see if y'all awake, because some of you guys have been falling asleep in the chat. So how many of you can relate? Put some types of food in the chat that is your addiction, that you just cannot live without, but you know good and well you should not be eating. Okay. You know you shouldn't be eating it, but you still are eating it. Put it in the chat, the name of the food. If it's chicken, put chicken, whatever it is. Cornbread, I don't know. Put it in the chat. If you know you should not be eating this, but it's something that you're addicted to, put it in the chat. Come on now. I need at least some people to participate before we move on. I need somebody. Come on, Betty. One of y'all wake up. Wake up. I'll tell you mine while we waiting. Guys, my weakness is pizza. Pizza and macaroni and cheese. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. When I was giving up, some of the health issues. Okay. Oh yeah, sweets too. Google was my idea. I'm with Google was my idea. Yes, sweets is another problem of mine. Gosh. Yes, guys, pray for a sister. I need y'all to pray for me. Yes, bread. Okay, Doris said bread. Exactly. Bread is a problem. Yes. Popcorn, potato chips. Yes. Oh my goodness. I identify with all you guys. Popcorn. I can't get enough of popcorn, guys. Pray for me. Potato chips. Yes. You guys are saying a lot of stuff that I'm addicted to. Okay. Bread. Oh my God. I love bread. Did you know there's a lot of alternatives to all this? Like, for example, bread, you can use Ezekiel bread. Ezekiel bread's really good. If you go to, I don't know, Doris, if you have a Whole Foods where you live, but if you go to Whole Foods, there's actual healthy breads that are in the refrigerator. You go to that refrigerator area and it's gluten-free and it's made from, I guess, almond flour or whatever. So you can actually find substitutes for all these different addictions, y'all. All these different addictions we have, the sweets. I found a new way to substitute my addiction for sugar, and I use coconut sugar because it's low glycemic. So all these different foods that you love, you actually can have substitutes. Yes. Yeah. And if y'all want me to do another live about those substitutes, let me know, because I know all of them. I've been researching it. So first thing, eat more organic fruits and vegetables. I have to emphasize this, especially in the Black community. Y'all, in the Black community, for some reason, we do not eat fruits and vegetables. And I can tell you, I was guilty of this. I used to not eat fruit and vegetables when I was growing up. When I was growing up, I grew up eating fried chicken, cornbread, collard greens, baked beans, chitlins, ham hocks. That's the stuff my mom would feed me. Fried fish, fried oysters. That's the stuff I would eat, or I would eat a lot of processed foods. My mom didn't emphasize eating organic fruits and vegetables. So when I became an adult, guys, my health was, it was a hot mess. It was a hot mess. I ended up getting fibroids because of just eating high levels of sugar and being under a lot of stress, not exercising, not eating my fruits and vegetables. So guys, if you want to heal your body, the way to do it, natural medicine, organic fruits and vegetables, herbs, natural herbs like dandelion, milk thistle, those different natural types of herbs can actually naturally heal your body. So yes, fruits and vegetables are important. It's literally natural medicine. And if you read my book, I go over the different health properties in these different types of foods for fruit and vegetables. Now, the second part is you need to reduce or eliminate processed foods. Oh my gosh, guys, I can go on and on and on about processed foods. We'll be here all day till Jesus comes back if I go over this, guys. Processed foods are a killer. They have so many chemicals in them that are actually triggering a lot of the cancers that we're seeing form, especially colon cancer. Your body can't even eliminate all these different chemicals that are coming in it with these processed foods. Get rid of processed foods. If you have to, one of the things I want to encourage you to do is read the ingredients on the back of the box. If there is a large number of words you cannot pronounce, do not buy that. Do not. My ebook goes into more details about that. But again, I'm just giving you a brief presentation here. Now, limit consumption of animal products and dairy products, or eat cage-free, hormone-free. Number 3, I know y'all didn't want to hear this. Y'all don't want to give up your chicken, your turkey, your beef, your pork. A lot of y'all do not want to hear this. I get it. But guys, a lot of the meat products we're eating, the dairy and all that, it has hormones in it. And these hormones are triggering a lot of cancers, especially it's triggering colon cancer. High levels of, and dairy products for women are dangerous because it has high levels of estrogen in the dairy products. And so we already, as women, have a lot of estrogen, right? Now you take dairy and you start consuming all this cheese and dairy, it's raising your levels of estrogen to an imbalanced level, which is causing you or people to get a lot of feminine-like cancers, such as breast cancer. Dairy has been linked to breast cancer and uterus cancer and different feminine like cancers. So yes, animal products are dangerous. So you want to just do your research. You want to find some substitutes for dairy, I would say. There's a lot that I've learned about that I eat. You still get the same benefits, but you're not eating the dairy. That's dangerous to your health. Okay. So the first tip we're going to talk about right now is eat more organic fruits and vegetables. It is the natural medicine to the body. Fruits and vegetables are the natural medicine to the body, y'all. I just can't emphasize it enough. Eat a lot of organic fruits and vegetables for your daily diet. And I would recommend, because even with fruits and vegetables, you got to be careful what fruits and vegetables you get. Okay. Because some of the fruits and vegetables at the store have a lot of pesticides. So you want to shop for organic. And if you have farmers markets where you live, I recommend go to the farmers markets, because that's where you're going to get your healthy, organic fruits and vegetables that don't have all the pesticides sprayed on it. That's what you really want to shop for, because even if you eat a large amount of fruits and vegetables, if you're eating the wrong kind, it still can trigger cancer, y'all. Isn't that crazy? It still can trigger. I'm just saying. So let me tell you a little bit of story about me. When I was growing up, my mother could barely afford to provide us with nutritional foods. We had to eat foods that we could afford. So I grew up, I told you some of the foods I grew up eating, but I also grew up eating processed foods such as top ramen noodles, burritos, cereals, all the soul foods I talked about. We did not eat much fruits or vegetables. And if we did ever eat fruits or vegetables, they were canned goods, which are not healthy. Do not eat canned goods, y'all. So as an adult, I repeated those same habits. And this led to developing health issues in my later years. One health scare that I had was fibroids that I talked about. And this is caused by many sources, including poor diet. So for many years as an adult, I replicated the poor diet that I had as a child in my nearly adult years. And it developed these fibroids in my uterus, which could have led to infertility. Fibroids are very common amongst Black women because of the poor nutrition, environmental stressors, anxiety, hair products such as chemical relaxers and toxins that cause estrogen to elevate in high rates, y'all. It's an alarming health concern too. Nutrition begins with what foods you consume regularly. It's imperative that you eat a lot of organic fruits and vegetables for your daily diet. Fruits and vegetables have many natural medicinal properties and nutrients that your body needs to function, guys. So it's important that you choose organic produce because most fruits and vegetables in the market, they have pesticides, which can cause cancers later down the line if you do not carefully clean your fruits and vegetables before consumption, y'all. Before consumption. So let's look at some numbers here. A diet that is rich in organic vegetables and fruit, it can lower your blood pressure. And remember, we really want to lower and have a balanced, healthy blood pressure, because if you have a high blood pressure and you don't manage that, it can wreak havoc on your heart, which can lead down to heart disease, stroke, and heart attacks down the line if you don't manage your blood pressure, because it puts a lot of stress on the heart when you have high blood pressure. Eating fruits and vegetables, it reduces your risk of heart disease and stroke, and it prevents some forms of cancer. So you really, if you get rid of the sugar, because the sugar is cancer causing as it is, lots of meat and dairy products are cancer causing. So if you start limiting that or getting rid of that and really researching some of the meats you're eating, making sure you're getting the cage-free type of meats if you're going to eat meat. And we'll talk about meat. I'll give you some tips on that. But you want to focus on really starting to raise your levels of organic fruits and vegetables, because that's going to really give your body medicine, and it will help your body prevent cancer and help your heart. So now the key tip, guys, about fruits and vegetables, you need to eat a variety of colored organic fruits and vegetables. They have to be the rainbow. You know that whole saying, taste the rainbow? Well, yeah, your fruits and vegetables need to be a wide array of fruit colors, because the different color properties have different nutrients that your body needs. And my ebook will outline that for you, what different colors, the fruits and vegetables you're eating, and what health properties each of those different colors provide your body with. Right. And like Google was my idea, says sugars and everything. Now, it's the type of sugars you're eating. Google was my idea. When I talk about sugar, I'm talking about white processed sugar. White processed sugar is dangerous. The key is to find alternatives to white processed sugar, which you can do. You can have natural sugars, such as the sugars in your fruit, or stevia is a natural sugar. Coconut sugar is a natural sugar. Date sugar is a natural sugar. If you have natural sugars that are low glycemic, you can still have those. What I'm talking about when I discuss sugar, I'm talking about the white processed sugars that are found in a lot of our processed foods. That's why I said you need to eliminate or reduce processed foods, and make sure you're reading the back of the box, because in those processed foods, they have a lot of hidden white processed sugars, which is causing a lot of health issues. And I may do a video just devoted to sugars and research about that, because I actually did a seminar about that previously that was really helpful to a lot of people who found it to be very helpful to them. So as I was saying, when you eat greens, okay, for example, when I was talking about eat a variety colored of fruits and vegetables, they do have different health properties. For example, green fruits and vegetables such as broccoli, spinach, cabbage, Brussels sprouts, green beans, cucumbers, green apples, kiwi, avocado, green apples, they're loaded with nutrients that protect your eye health. They aid in cancer prevention. They aid in preventing high levels of bad cholesterol. It regulates your digestion, and it improves your immune system functioning. The green fruits and vegetables. Did you see all those wonderful wealth of information about green vegetables? Now, when I modified my diet to eat more organic fruits and vegetables, my health improved tremendously, guys. I was able to shrink the size of my fibroids after reviewing them in an ultrasound. When I reviewed them in a follow-up ultrasound, I found that my fibroids decreased in size tremendously. And that's really what you want to do if you have fibroids. You want to keep them small to the point of elimination. You don't want them at all, but if you do, you want to keep them small, because if they get bigger, that's when they become problematic, and then you have to get surgery and stuff like that. I am able to maintain a healthy blood pressure level because of changing my diet and exercising and managing my stress. And overall improvement in my digestion, guys, and my energy levels. Oh my gosh, my energy levels have skyrocketed. It has improved my mood. The different foods you eat and exercising and maintaining, it can elevate your mood. So if you're dealing with depression, if you apply the WIN acronym to your life, intentional exercise, your mindset, improving your mindset, and your nutritional diet, if you apply these principles, guys, you will find your mood to completely change. I am literally happy all the time. I can't really think of a moment that I'm sad, because it's just, I have really been managing my health with these different factors that I'm telling you about, and it has elevated my mood. I have never been more happy in my life, you guys. Never. So, yes, the food you eat can actually affect your happiness, your mood levels, your immune system, you name it. So, let's move on to the next. Tip number 2, reduce or eliminate processed foods. Woo! My gosh, guys. Oh, my Lord, my Lord. This right here, all these items here in the picture are literally cancer. That's what they are. These processed foods here in this picture is literally cancer causing. You can have processed foods, but I would recommend a health food store such as Sprouts or Whole Foods, and read the back of the box. The less ingredients they have, and you make sure you know what type of ingredients they have, the better. If you see it with a laundry list of ingredients, avoid it, because it's literally cancer causing. It's going to deteriorate your body, I'm telling you. So according to a study, those who consumed more processed foods were more likely to get some form of cancer. We're doing all this research about cancer. You guys hear a lot of the organizations saying, let's raise money for cancer research. But did you know we had the answer the whole time? It was the foods we were eating. All those processed foods we were eating, the bad diets, that is what was causing us to get the cancer. We have the research answer right here to prevent it. Change your lifestyle. Research, know your knowledge. I'm giving you the tools through the seminar, through the book that I have that I give out for free. You don't even have to worry about paying a dime. You get it for free. Come on, you have it all right now in your hand. Okay, so how many of you, y'all, now I need y'all to start participating. It's a participating moment right now. I need you to put a 10 in the chat if you actually read the ingredients in the back of the box of processed items before you buy it at a grocery store, such as your chips, your crackers, and cereals. I need y'all to put a 10 if you do read the back of the box to figure out what ingredients are in there. Put a 10. Now put a 11 if you don't read the back of the box. You just buy it. You don't care what the processed food is. Come on, I need to hear, because I need to know what you guys are doing. Do you guys read the back of the box to find out what the ingredients are, or do you not? Let me know. 10 if you don't, 11 if you do. Sorry, 10 if you do. 10 if you do read the back of the box to find out the ingredients, and 11 if you do not read the back of the box to find out what are the ingredients in your processed foods. Put it in the chat, please. I'll tell you, for me, before I knew this knowledge that I am providing you, I used to not read the back of the box. Okay, good. Doris actually reads the back of the box. Good job. Okay, Google was my idea. She used to read, but she fell off the wagon. Okay, love, you got to get back on that wagon, girl. It's for your health. Your health matters, honey. You got to take back your health. You got to read the back, because the back is going to tell you everything. 10. Okay, we have a lot of people that are already on their game. Doris reads the back of the box. Good job. Adela, you guys are on point. My gosh. Okay, good job. I used to not read it. I was guilty. I was like, Google was my idea. Until I started researching and realizing the cancer-causing issues with these different processed foods, I realized that I needed to start reading the back of the box to figure out, what am I eating and what is it doing to me? So thank you for participating in that, y'all. Research links processed foods to many health problems, such as high blood pressure, heart disease, and cancer, according to the American Institute for Cancer Research. Can you believe it? Heart disease is linked to all these processed foods we're eating, y'all. This is a mess, a complete mess. It's heartbreaking. So now I want to really talk about the types of processed foods we're eating, y'all. Now, processed foods such as canned goods, baked beans that are in the can, some cheeses, canned fishes, are loaded with salt, sugar, canola oils, soy, and other harmful chemicals. You got to know what the harmful chemicals are before you can know the dangers and to avoid them. That is called living purposefully, because you're educating yourself. Now, when I talked about, I said those processed foods, they are linked. They have a lot of salt in it. That's the problem with the processed foods, because we know high levels of sodium really does affect your blood pressure and other health properties. So if you're eating a lot of canned goods and all these boxed packaged items, you don't know how much salt in it. The sugar levels are they sneak all these bad ingredients in there, these cancer-causing ingredients. Canola oil, guys, is a killer. Canola oil, stay away from it. It's in literally most of our processed foods have large volumes of canola oil. And soy is very dangerous, especially for women, because soy has estrogen in it. And as I mentioned, we already have high levels of estrogen. So now you add soy to the equation, and it's going to raise your estrogen levels high, which can lead to increased risks of breast cancer and uterus cancer and other feminine type cancers, y'all. Okay. Now, the research that we talked about here, we're going to get into that research here. But processed foods such as crackers, y'all, chips, frozen dinners, candy, cookies, sodas, lunch meats, sugar, cereal, baked goods are loaded with artificial colors, flavors, preservatives, and other harmful ingredients. And all these type of ingredients, y'all, if you keep eating them at long periods of time throughout your life, it's linked to cancer. It's linked to obesity, diabetes, type 2 diabetes, which is on the rise in America, heart disease, vascular disease, such as stroke. And that is according to the American Institute for Research. So you see that right there, y'all. It's just, man, look at all these things it's linked to. My gosh. Some of you, did y'all even know this? Let me know if you knew this or not. Put a 12 in the chat if you already knew that about processed sugar or processed foods. Put a 13 in the chat if you said, I didn't know about this. Oh my gosh, this is scary. I need to go ahead and change some stuff about my life. So a 12 if you did already know. 13 if you did not know. Let me know. So it's just very concerning, guys, looking at the different correlations, y'all. Best practices to reduce or eliminate processed foods from your diet. If you do eat processed foods or foods in the box, always read the back of the box for the ingredients. If there are too many ingredients that you can't even pronounce, or it's loaded with sodium and sugar, avoid purchasing or consuming that processed product. Don't even do it. And when I started reading the ingredients before purchasing a processed product, y'all, I soon began to realize I could not eat 90% of the processed foods because they were not healthy for human consumption. It's literally cancer in a box. That's what I call most processed foods. Most processed foods, unless you buy from a health food store and you've looked at the backs of the box, most of them are cancer in a box. That's the way to summarize it, as sad as it is. So always remember, the less added ingredients there are in a food item, the less sodium sugar there is in the product, the more preferable. But I would say just stick with whole foods. Stick with your fruits, your vegetables. If you do have your meats, we'll talk about that, guys. So reduce or eliminate processed foods. Reduce or eliminate processed foods from your diet. Always read the back of the box for the ingredients. And as I mentioned, the less added ingredients there are in a food item, the less sodium and sugar there is, the more preferable you would like to go down that route. Now look at this back of this box. This is an example here, y'all. This is an example. Look at this. Whole grain. Look at this. This is a cereal box here. They have sugar right here. That's the second ingredient. So you know that's a large amount. Once you know the second ingredient, it's going to be a large amount of that. Here you got brown sugar syrup. So that's another sugar. Not only do they have processed sugar, but they have another type of sugar, brown sugar. And then they got corn syrup, glycerin. They got modified cornstarch. Molasses is another sugar. And honey. Look at, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different types of sweeteners in this cereal. And you wouldn't have even known that had we not read it. So I know it might take y'all a little more time when you go down to the grocery store. And you look now, you got to realize, oh man, if I buy stuff in a box, I got to read it now. But it's worth it because your health matters. And you have the tools, you have the power to either live healthy and work on preventing that heart disease and most forms of cancer by changing your diet and different factors, or you can choose to just turn a blind eye and keep going about your life. But I think you should at least start reading and educating yourself. Okay, so the third tip is limit consumption of animal and dairy products. Eat caged or eat cage-free, hormone-free. That's what you want to look at. If you say, I cannot give up meat, girl, I can't do it. I know you try to tell us to give it. Okay, I get it. I know you guys love your meat. So just if you're going to eat meat, eat cage-free and hormone-free. That's what you want to look for. And you still want to, it's all about balance. It's all about proportion. So you want to load your plate up with more fruits and vegetables. Or if you're having a dinner, load your plate up with a lot of vegetables. And then you want to have, a moderate size of meat, but make sure it's cage-free or hormone-free. And I would say just get rid of pork. Get rid of pork. So processed meats cause cancer, such as stomach and colon cancer, according to World Health Organization. This is something we really need to talk about, guys. Stomach and colon cancer, it is on the rise, and it is linked to some of these processed meats we're eating. And I know this topic is tough for many people who love their meat and their dairy. However, many of you you guys can probably tell me if you're aware that processed foods such as ham, bacon, frankfurts, red meats such as beef, pork, lamb, they are known to cause cancer such as stomach cancer and colon cancer, according to the World Health Organization, y'all. Isn't that alarming? So it's all about proportion. The problem for why we're getting these colon cancers and stomach cancers is because lack of balance. We're just loading up our plates with a bunch of different meats that got all these hormones and different pesticides and everything in it. And we're not even really eating our fruits and vegetables, which is our natural medicine. We're not eating it. We're just primarily eating a lot of dairy and meat products. That's really the majority of a lot of people's diets. Black Americans are 1.8 times as likely to get stomach cancer and 2.5 times more likely to die from stomach cancer than other ethnic groups. Black women are 2.2 times more likely to get stomach cancer than other ethnic groups. You see that? That is alarming, guys. It's alarming, which is why we need to talk about it, because colon cancer is on the rise, especially in the Black community. And it's because of our diet. Like I said, a lot of us, we load our plates up with a bunch of meat products, and we'd be lucky if we see a broccoli on that plate. Lucky, y'all. We would be lucky. And this is because many of us culturally consume a high diet of meat products, more so than organic fruits and vegetables. And as I mentioned to you guys, my friend died from stage 4 colon cancer at age 25, and her diet was primarily meats, processed foods, oily fried foods, and dairy. That was her diet. I'd never seen her eat any type of fruit or vegetable, period. Never in her life. I'd never seen her eat an apple. I didn't see her eat any type of vegetable. So I live with the pain of wishing I knew what I know now, so I could have inspired her to change her diet. But at the time, I didn't even know. I was eating the same way she was. So I had no clue. But I wish I knew what I know now. And because I know this information now, I feel like I'm on a journey and on a mission to help educate people in the community. So regarding red meats, y'all, let's talk about red meats. Tip number 1, limit the amount of red meat consumption per week. You can still have your red meats. I know y'all love your red meats. You can still have it. The issue is balance. That's all it is. Yeah, grass-fed and grass-fed and raised meats. Yeah, that's good. That's good. You can have that too. As long as make sure it doesn't have all the hormones. Yeah, keep the hormones. If you love bacon, do turkey bacon. Google was my idea. Oh, she said, I tried eating turkey bacon. Regular bacon tastes so much better. Okay, if you like it, sweetie, just don't eat it every day. Make it as a treat. Maybe every few months you have bacon as a treat, but don't do it a lot. That's the problem. Don't do it a lot. So limit your amount of red meat consumption per week. Limit to 1 serving of lean red meat per day. For example, a half cup mince, 2 small chops, or 2 slices of roast meat, or 2 servings, 2 to 3 or 3 to 4 times per week. This is from cancercouncil.com. So they're basically telling you, if you want to reduce your chances of getting colon cancer or stomach cancer, you need to limit your servings here. And it's telling you the servings you should have. So just it's the proportion. 2 small chops, 2 slices, okay, of roast meat, but don't go beyond that. And that is about 3 to 4 times a week. That's 2 servings, 3 to 4 times a week. Now, what is your red meats? Your red meats is your beef, your lamb, and your pork. So Google was my idea, sweetie. If you follow this regime here, and if you want your bacon, you can have it. But look, it tells you what to do. It just says you need to limit it to 2 servings, 3 to 4 times a week. So actually, you can have it more than what I said based upon the cancercouncil.com. They're saying you can have 1 serving of lean red meat per day. That's a half cup mince and 2 small chops or 2 small slices. So if you want to have your bacon, sweetie, you could still have it, but you're going to have to limit it based upon what Cancer Council is stating. And you want to select cage-free or farm-raised options as, who said that? Someone said farm-raised, grass-fed. Yeah, Doris Smith said, yes, grass-fed and farm-raised meats are okay. But again, you want to look at the proportion here. This tip number 1 is very imperative. You want to put that in your notes. To limit it to 1 serving of lean red meat per day, i.e. half cup mince, 2 small chops, 2 slices. It's the proportion. That's the issue that we're having in America. We're having these large proportions of red meat, and that is really triggering the colon cancer down the line, because you do something over long periods, over significant amount of years, it really wreaks havoc on your colon. And that's why people are getting colon cancer and stomach cancers. Tip number 2, eliminate processed meat altogether or keep it at a very small minimum. Processed meats is one of the huge concerns with colon cancer. That's why this one, the health officials, the experts are saying you need to just get rid of processed meats. They couldn't even compromise with y'all. They said y'all can have the red meats, just limit your sizing. But when it comes to the processed meats, the research is very alarming. Now, your processed meats are your bacon. And I know that's what Google was my idea. She's not going to want to hear this. Processed meats are your bacon, your ham, your bologna, hot dogs, sausage, Devon, your frankfurts, your chorizos, your cabanossis, your Kransky. I don't know how to pronounce that because I don't eat this type of stuff, y'all. CancerCouncil.com is saying this is what the type of meats they are referring to when they say eliminate these meats altogether. And the alternative is they say eat certain fishes such as salmon. That's good. Cage-free eggs, turkey, chicken options that are farm-raised or cage-free. So yeah, you can still have your meats. They're telling you could have the salmon. This is based on my research. I love some salmon, y'all. Oh, wait, help me, Jesus. Cage-free eggs, turkey or chicken options that are farm-raised or cage-free. So they gave you a list of alternatives that you can have. So that turkey bacon, you can have it. Google was my idea. Girl, if you're really trying to get your health together, love. I know you love your bacon. Like I said, if you want to do the bacon thing, even though they say eliminate it altogether, I would recommend eliminate it altogether. But if you really cannot live without your bacon, girl, you're going to have to limit it to maybe once every few months. Just don't do it on a regular basis because you're really wreaking havoc on your health with that bacon, girl. I'm just telling you. Another tip, eat a plant-based diet. Now, I know a lot of people are not going to want to go with this one. This is a route that I personally chose, which is why I made it tip 3, because I know a lot of people don't want to do plant-based, but it has really changed my life. So I thought I would plug this in for people who are really looking to maximize their health. So you can have substitutes for meat for vegetarians that are high in protein and other essential nutrients. And they include 1 cup of cooked lentils. I love lentils, guys. Oh my God, they're so good. Chickpeas. And chickpeas, they actually have chickpea pasta. If you love pasta, you can get your pasta, but you get the ones that are made with chickpeas. Split peas, dry beans, 30 grams of peanuts or almonds, 170 grams of tofu, and tempeh. These are your high protein type plant-based foods. So if you're saying, I need to get in my protein, well, these are the list of foods you want to really load up on if you're going the plant-based route. If you're choosing that route instead of, minimizing your meat products, then you want to use these type of foods to help you with your high protein. You want to eat a lot of these. Make sure you have your lentils and your almonds and different stuff like that. And that's per cancercouncil.com. And I personally have chosen this route. I've chosen this route, which is why I thought I would share it with you. I've chosen a more plant-based approach by eliminating red meat altogether for utmost health. This is a maximized option. Again, you don't have to do this as an option. You can go the other options that we talked about where you're just limiting your proportion size. Remember, we talked about proportion size here. Just eliminate it to 2 small chops, 2 slices, and half cup mince. And you want to load up on your fruits and vegetables and so forth. Now, for me, I chose this third option for me. With this option, though, you still have to ensure you're obtaining sufficient protein. And I gave you a list of different items you can eat to help you with your protein intake. You also need to make sure you're getting sufficient vitamin B12, iron, zinc, calcium, omega-3, and fatty acids. And I go over that more in detail in my ebook. Some substitutes, as I mentioned, are listed here. Now we're going to move on to the next tip, which is y'all limit your weekly fish consumption, because fish has some issues too. You can still have your fish. A lot of this, a takeaway from this whole training is balance, y'all. Balance, balance, balance. That's really why we're getting a lot of these health issues, because we're imbalanced. But salmon is one of the healthier types of fish. If you love fish, then salmon is a great option. If you eat fish, try salmon, which is one of the healthier fishes, and just stay clear, y'all. Stay clear of tilapia. Tilapia is one of the more unhealthy fishes. Don't touch tilapia. If you love fish, go with your salmons. They're yummy. They're healthy. Now, fish, although such as omega-3 fatty acids, it can lower your risk of heart disease. And remember, that's the main topic for today. And there are some risk factors which, if you have an imbalanced high level of fish consumption, again, you can have fish. You just need to balance it out. For example, fish contains mercury and PCBs. And high levels of mercury and PCBs can harm the brain and nervous system, and it can lead to cancer and other harmful health effects. So, and mercury is harmful to fetuses. And tips is just make sure you properly clean, prepare, and cook your fish. So if you're going to have it clean, prepare, cook your fish, make sure you balance your diet out. Make sure you're limiting the amounts you're having. You limit the amount of fish you consume in a week and the proportion size. That's all you got to do. And just download my free ebook for details regarding fish, because I actually go over the details more in depth. But look at this food chain here. It really tells you where the mercury comes from. So mercury level here, EPA advice right here. So they're telling you if you like shark, guys, I don't eat shark. What is this? Pike, albacore, halibut. They said eat this type of fish only a few times per month. So you can, it's not like you can't have this stuff. They're just telling you need to limit the amount you're having. So you can have it a few times a month. Trout and tuna in the can, eat that a few times per week. See, you can still have your tuna a couple times per week. That's what they're saying. Now, salmon is unlimited. That's why I said salmon is your best option. It's unlimited. You can have that. Sorry, guys. I got my phone on here interrupting me. Okay, hold on, y'all. So, so salmon, your pollock, your oysters, the experts are saying you can have an unlimited amount. So again, all about your balance, all about balance. Now, let's move on to another topic that I know a lot of y'all don't want to hear because y'all love your cheeses. I know people going to be in the chat like, girl, no, she didn't talk about my dairy. Leave my dairy alone. Okay. Now, you want to at least eliminate or minimize dairy products. If you notice that you're getting a lot of bloating Yeah, it's caused by them dairy products, y'all. And you want to replace it with non-dairy substitutes. The dangers of dairy. Let's talk about it. Dairy is loaded with estrogen and other hormones. Now, based on my research out there tells what I found was that our body really wasn't designed to consume dairy. It was really meant for the baby cow. That's what it was really meant for. It wasn't meant for human consumption. But for some reason, we started eating it thinking it was for us when it really wasn't. And it's causing a lot of cancers, especially breast cancers. Like I said, the feminine-like cancers. It's clogging your arteries, all kinds of stuff. High imbalance consumption of estrogen products have been linked to breast cancer and ovarian cancer based upon the research. Very alarming, guys. So it's like you can still have dairy and cheese, but I would say limit it. I would say don't have it at all. I've eliminated. I got different substitutes. My substitutes that I use is oat milk. I use almond milk, and I'll talk about that a little later. I'll give you some alternatives you can use. But if you're really trying to prevent cancer, like at least these types, then you want to stay away from different foods that are loaded with estrogen. One of those is your milks and your cheeses and stuff like that. You can get alternatives for that, plant-based cheeses, which taste just as good. They're just as yummy. I'm telling you, that's what I eat. I eat my yummy plant-based cheeses and cheeses, and I love them. They taste really good. I'm really not even noticing the difference. So cheese is especially dangerous, guys, because it's loaded with 70% of fat. The more saturated fat, the more chance it is clogging your arteries and increasing your chance of heart disease. And that's based upon Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine. The PCRM.org website has given me that source. The tips based on the research is limit or eliminate dairy altogether. So again, you can have your dairy if you still can't give it up. I know some of y'all can't, but limit it. Don't have large volumes of it each day. But I would say, I'll tell you what I do. I have select plant-based cheese options such as Go Vegan. I use that. Daiya, I use that. Dr. Cow is a good one. Follow Your Heart and Nona. These are some of the cheese options you can have that are plant-based. They taste just as good. And you still get that lovely desire of the plant-based foods that you love, the cheeses that you love. Select plant-based milks. This is what I do, such as oat milk. I love oat milk, guys. I love almond milk. Coconut milk is one I use, and other nut-based milks. They even have cashew milks, guys. They have all kind of nut-based milks. And you'll be surprised. People will say, well, then how come I won't get all my nutrients? That's what people argue. I'm not going to get all my nutrients. I thought I consume dairy for the vitamins. Well, did you know that the alternative milks that I discussed, they all have the same vitamins that dairy has? For example, almond milk contains a good amount of calcium, vitamin D, and E. Oat milk supports bone health, and it contains more fiber than cow's milk. Oat milk does. It has more fiber than cow's milk, and it supports bone health. Oat milk also contains vitamins B, thiamine, folate, potassium, magnesium, zinc, and they're all good for bone health. Look at all these vitamins, y'all, that this oat milk has, that almond milk has. You don't even need dairy. They were lying to y'all. You don't need it. This substitute, it tastes just as good, and it has all the vitamins that dairy provides. And it's not going to cause problems with you getting cancer down the line. So, trying to help y'all out. Let me know what y'all think about this. Hi, Shelly. Oh my gosh, my love is in the chat. It's okay, sweetie. It is okay if you're late, girl. You are welcome anytime, any day. Betty says mercury. Okay, she knows about mercury. Meat substitutes. Yeah, we need meat substitutes. That's plant-based. You can have Beyond Meats. Those are really good. Okay, Google says I do like my protein drinks. Premier protein drinks are really good. Yeah, you can actually, there's a vegan vegetable or vegan Orgain. That's called Orgain. Let me see if I can find it. Orgain. Yeah, it's called Orgain protein drink. You guys can get this as an alternative. This is what I take. I'm going to show you the picture here. Real quick before we get back to the next part of this. Let me show you what I use for protein. And you can put it in your smoothies. But this is what I use. It is so, guys, the ingredients are amazing and it tastes so delicious. I get the chocolate one. It's called Orgain Protein and the ingredients are amazing. The person who created this talked about his story about a family member. I don't remember who it was, but I read the back of it. It talked about one of his family members having cancer and how he gained the inspiration to create this healthy, organic, vegan protein that he uses, and it has really good ingredients, guys. It tastes really good. So you still get the best of both worlds. They have all kinds of flavors. I love the chocolate one. That is my favorite one, but they have all kinds of flavors. It doesn't have any sugar in it because you know a lot of those protein drinks have large volumes of sugar. Well, this one doesn't have sugar in it. It has stevia. It has natural sugar. So that's okay. You can have your natural sugars. But look at the ingredients, guys. That's why I love this right here. This is what I love. They have pea protein, organic brown rice protein, organic creamer base, organic acai, organic high oleasin sunflower oil, rosemary, organic sea salt, sisa, organic stevia. And these ingredients are harmless. They don't cause all the issues that we're seeing happening with cancer, type 2 diabetes, heart disease. And look, it has a natural sugar, stevia. You're okay with having stevia, guys. That's a natural plant-based sugar. That's fine. So look at this. Like the ingredients are amazing, but it tastes really good too. It's so yummy. So you're still getting the best of both worlds. You're still getting your protein drinks. Google was my idea, but you're also doing it in a healthy way. So we are pretty much wrapping up, guys. So in summary, take back your health by implementing the WIN acronym into your life. Winning mindset, that's mental health maintenance. Intentional exercise, daily, regular exercise, and a nutritional diet. With these tips, you guys, we can live healthy and whole, live a long life, prevent cancer, most forms of cancer, I would say, and at least prevent heart disease, you guys. Right. Oh, Google was my idea. She said she loved fried oysters. Girl, that was my weakness too, because my mom, she's the one that got me eating fried oysters growing up. She used to cook those a lot. So I understand you. It's not like you can't have the bad foods. Really what this training is about, educating you about how to balance it out, knowing how much you should be eating, and balancing that out, limiting the bad foods and increasing the good foods, and trying to find alternatives for those ones that are just, you just can't compromise with. You know what I mean? For example, processed meats are pretty bad. So I hope this training helps, guys. I hope it did. See, Brana says she quit cheese a long time ago. Exactly, girl. You are smart. You learned. Doris says, where can I get your free ebook? Oh, sweetie, yes. If you want the free ebook, please message me on the Queen Esquire Gal Instagram page, and I will send you the link personally so that you can download that free book for yourself. So again, send me, if you can send me that, sweetie, I will get that to you guys ready to go. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this live. Let me know if there's any other health tips you want to talk about, and we will go into that. I also can do a whole live about sugars and stuff like that. Just a disclaimer, y'all, I am not a medical physician, okay? But I've done many years of research dating back to 2018, and I feel like I have gotten the 6 core factors that truly can help you prevent heart disease and most forms of cancer. It's helped me, and many people who have read my book and have applied these principles, they have said that it's helped them also. So guys, have a lovely day, and I hope that this information has blessed you as much as it has blessed me in my life. All right, guys, take care.